All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Double on Our Body Transformation Podcast. This is a bit of a follow-up video from the testosterone replacement series that I am currently doing because this is basically my first week of TRT and, well, not clinical testosterone replacement therapy, but more of like slightly moving to the bodybuilding territory. Based TRT, right? So yeah, but before I just get started, I just want to put like a bit of a disclaimer. This is not any sort of medical advice, and this is mainly for educational and entertainment purposes only. If you want to take any actions around what's mentioned in this, I'd highly suggest you consult your physician, an endocrinologist, a urologist, a physician, a specialist in that required field, right? I'm not a doctor, so you need to take my advice with a grain of salt. In fact, don't even take it, right? I'm just an entertainer on YouTube, just saying. All right, now that I've saved my ass, let's probably talk about my first week of TRT. But before that, last week in the video, right, that I created, I basically was talking about, what was I talking about? Wait, let me just check if I'm zoomed in. I'll zoom that. All good, yeah. I was basically talking about, what was I talking about? I was talking about my decision to go on TRT and me doing my blood work, right? Now, what I found, like after 9 months of intense dieting, right? And yeah, being at a super low body fat percentage, my testosterone levels literally crashed down to 300 nanograms per deciliter. Right? That was absolutely normal. Whereas last year, when I phased out of a diet and I accumulated some body fat, got healthy, got my appetite back after my previous photo shoot, right? My testosterone levels were something like 760 nanograms per deciliter. Now, on average, a healthy male's testosterone levels are going to be diminishing by something like 1 to 3% per year, which is going to be something like 7 to 10 nanograms per deciliter per year. So me going from 736 to 300 nanograms per deciliter in a year, it's not that normal, right? That's mainly induced by me being at a low body fat percentage for a long period of time and chronically dieting. So what does that say, right? Dieting, being in a calorie deficit, well, even though it helps you get to a healthy body fat percentage, but doing it for a long period of time is not healthy, right? But this is just the cost of doing business, and this is what I expected in the first place, right? My food is not back up here. So once when I push the food back up, the natural testosterone would eventually recover. But I was like, you know what, fuck it, let me just start going into the bodybuilding territory because, well, not like super physiological doses, but slightly like sports TRT based, where yeah, and this basically is the right time for me to do it. Not from a morality perspective or health perspective, but from a bodybuilding perspective, because I'm already lean, so my sensitivity, my androgen receptor sensitivity to androgens is going to be extremely high. My ability to partition nutrients from food is going to be extremely high because I'm still in a calorie deficit and I'm fucking lean, which is at around 6 to 7% body fat. And yeah, like I've got all the practices in check, right? Insulin sensitivity is extremely high. So yeah, the thing that I found out, right? My cystatin C was low, right? Which meant that there was not much for my kidneys to even filter in the first place. I don't really know much about cystatin C, like excuse my ignorance, so please don't quote me on that one. My thyroid hormones were tanked, right? That's absolutely expected because when you're chronically dieting, right? And I'm going to paste the blood work screenshots over here on the screen for you guys to reference as and when I talk about it. But I'm also going to be placing my full blood work in the link in the bio below. Just for reference, I'm not 41 years old. They just made like a bit of a mistake. I am 31 years old, right? I'm going to be blurring out my name. My thyroid hormones were cranked, but all markers were absolutely healthy, which probably shows you that like simply going at a low body fat percentage, besides it wrecking your sexual hormones, is good for your metabolic markers like your cholesterol, your diabetes, your fasting blood sugar, your insulin sensitivity, your your HDL to LDL ratio, your liver health, etc. So what am I trying to conclude at this? By this I mean, like, when you do push your food back up naturally, when you phase out of a diet and you do it slowly and steadily and accumulate some body fat, but don't become a fat fuck, right? That's where the real money is at. That's where the real health comes in. But most of the people never ever get there, because the moment the diet gets over, they go like, all right, let me just get off, right? So I had a chat with my coach. Shout out to Matt from Physique Collective. He's kept me in check, right? And I was expecting this, because natural bodybuilding is not healthy in the first place, right? Enhanced bodybuilding is not even healthy in the first place. Like Mr. Olympia, that's not healthy. But like somewhere between the two, where you take replacement hormonal doses or slightly go above that while still keeping your health in check and doing the basic health practices and sort of being like superhuman, right? That is healthy. That is fucking healthy. Yeah, you might be taking like a few years off your life slightly, but like the quality of your life that you have, like you're compressing quality at the cost of a little bit of quantity basically. So yeah, right now we are currently at, like, as per my body weight as of today morning, I was at 53.8 kilos. And I'm fucking lean, right, at like 170 centimeters. That's a really light body weight, basically. And I started TRT. Now, the way I'm doing it is I'm doing it like 150 milligrams per week. And I'm splitting my doses across 7 days per week. So that's going to be like, what is it? 8 units. Let me just do the math. 8 divided by 10, 100. 80 percentage, 25. Let me. Sorry, just please excuse. Yeah, so I'm taking 20 milligrams from Monday to Friday, and on Saturday and Sunday I am doing give or take something like 25 milligrams. So 20 milligrams from Monday to Friday is going to be like 100 milligrams per week, and then the remaining 50 milligrams is split into 2 doses over like Saturday and Sunday, right? Now, the stupid thing that a lot of pharmacies, testosterone replacement pharmacies, do is they give you a big bolus dose at the start of the week, which is so stupid, and it's going to go like zoop, right? Your testosterone levels will suddenly peak to super physiological doses, and then it's going to crash, right? That's not the right way to do it. You need to split it out in as many administrations as possible so that you keep the hormonal fluctuations down to a minimum, right? So let's probably say if you are someone who aromatizes, by aromatizes I mean you convert the testosterone to estrogen via the aromatase enzyme a little too much, you got too much aromatase activity basically. Right, so if you do go on TRT at a high enough dose, the chance of you getting estrogenic side effects like gynecomastia, like you crying when fucking Titanic plays, right, basically acting like a female, is going to be higher. So you want to mitigate these side effects by splitting out your doses rather than taking like one big bolus dose. But what a lot of TRT clinics do is, instead of having you start low and then slowly and steadily titrating the dose up, right, they will probably give you like a big bolus dose at the start of the week, and they will probably also give you like an aromatase inhibitor, right, because they want more money. That's the stupidest thing to do. A tool is used to address a specific problem as a moment it pops up, right? But the boutique TRT clinics like the ones in LA, right, are basically just glorified drug dealers, right? They're no different than your local steroid dealer. Well, your local steroid dealer will actually know more about TRT in a good way than your boutique TRT clinic in LA, right? Where you get the metaphor. So I split it out in as many administrations as possible because someone like me, well, I don't really have those many estrogenic side effects because I've never really had a problem with libido, right? Libido is fucking good. But like I've tended to have issues with like hair fall. So I've tried to, and that basically is the conversion of testosterone to DHT via the 5-alpha reductase enzyme or hormone, whatever we call it, right? So instead of me taking it into even 3, 4, or 5 administrations, I try to split it out into as many administrations as possible. So yeah, this has basically been the first week. How do I feel? I feel like really, really motivated. I can't explain it. I feel cocky. I feel like right now, even though I'm at a low body fat percentage, the libido is returning back. I feel it, but libido is mainly connected with food and accumulating some body fat and phasing out of a diet. But yeah, the libido for me being at 6% body fat, yeah, the dick is still working. So yeah, I mean, whereas before that it wasn't working, but that mainly is like the lack of food. What else? What else? Yeah, I feel like a workaholic. I can like stand for hours. The quality of the sessions in the gym, boy, oh boy, like it's right. So that's another thing. What else? What else? What else? That brain fog and that fatigue is not there, right? That brain fog and that fatigue is not there. I'm very aware, and the sleep is good. And on top of that, I'm also taking a replacement thyroid dose, like because my thyroid hormones were cranked. So my coach was like, for now, we need to go on testosterone replacement therapy, well, sports testosterone replacement therapy, because for someone like of my size, the clinical testosterone replacement therapy dose would probably be anywhere between something like 75 milligrams to 100 to 110 milligrams per week, right? But I pushed it up to 150. Right, sports TRT is anywhere between something like 2 to 3 milligrams per kg of body weight. Again, these numbers are just pulled out of my ass. And I was listening to one of the podcasts by Broderick Chavez, and he's a famous coach. So yeah, so I spoke to my coach. My coach was like anywhere between 100 to 150 milligrams. Let me see what are the side effects on that one. And from next week or next to next week onwards, I'm going to push the food back up. And I'm probably going to do like a bit of a photo shoot, and I'm going to take it from there. And I might titrate the dose down by maybe 25 milligrams 4 weeks after, or stay at like 150 milligrams, right? That basically is it. Like, this is what I wanted to let you guys know. I also tried methylene blue, and boy, that stuff is good. Like, the brain fog and the focus is amazing. In fact, right now I've taken methylene blue just before I recorded this. Got to recording this podcast because there was some form of content that I was like really procrastinating on. And also recording this video, I was like, fuck, on a Saturday I got to record a podcast basically. But what is methylene blue, right? It's more of like a dye which was produced in the textiles in the early 60s. Please don't quote me on it. I might be wrong in it. But like later, like after tons of research, it was found that it's got beneficial effects for neurogenesis, basically improving your cognition, focus, memory without stimulating you. And like it's also shown to like treat malaria slightly. It's also shown to like treat prolonged erections. So like when people pop a Viagra and they get their dicks hard for like 6 hours, doctors give them like high enough methylene blue dose for like 350 milligrams, which is like fucking nuts. It's also shown to reduce depression. It's shown to, how do I say this, reduce urinary tract infection symptoms. It's shown to improve training performance. It's shown to improve focus. So what I did was I simply ordered 10 pieces from China because it's pretty easy to produce methylene blue instead of buying from Amazon. Amazon is a fucking ripoff, right? And I have it usually on training days, like before my workout in the morning, like 5 milligrams in the morning, 5 milligrams I put it in my morning coffee. In the afternoon, before some tasks, and like it's amazing. It doesn't really interfere with my sleep. How will you stack it? If you probably stack it like with your green tea, or if you or with your like chamomile tea, it gives you that really calm focus. If you stack it with caffeine, it amplifies the effects of caffeine. I mean, that shit's good. But if you're someone on antidepressants, you want to be careful with methylene blue. But otherwise, it's a pretty safe, tolerated supplement. It's available on Amazon. It's pretty cheap. So yeah, but I just wanted to give you guys like a bit of an update around what's happening. And I'll be posting my pictures. And yeah, like, so the conclusion is, if you do decide to go on TRT, right? it makes more sense for you to get lean first, because if you're at a high enough body fat percentage, right, you're gonna get estrogenic side effects. So if you're not under 10% body fat, TRT is not for you. Even if your wife is divorced you, right, and you can't afford to buy a Lamborghini, right, but you want to like masculinize yourself, so yeah, TRT is still not going to be for you, right? First you need to accumulate the boring habits like training, nutrition, dieting, etc. Take all the health supplements out there, do daily fasted cardio, train progressively inside the gym 3 to 5 times per week, track your calories, your macros, and your nutrients, right? Optimize your hormonal levels just by doing that, and your balls are probably going to thank you by like, hey, thank you, like I appreciate you, like finally I can function, right? So do that, get to a healthy body fat percentage, and then when you get lean, it makes more sense for you to start with TRT basically. Don't ask me the recommendations with the dosages. I'm no doctor. And the second thing is, that's my recommendation. And also you need to be considering, right, if you want the best benefits of TRT with the least amount of side effects, it makes more sense for you. Are you okay injecting stuff inside yourself, right, in the first place? Most of the people go like, oh, I'd rather pop a pill rather than injecting stuff. Well, popping a pill is fucking stupid, especially if you're going to go on testosterone replacement therapy, because the pill is going to go through your gut, then it's going to go through your liver, then it's going to go through your kidneys. That shit's dangerous, right? It's going to be very toxic. Injecting is going to directly bypass all of that, and it's going to go to your bloodstream, and it's not going to be like toxic to your body, right? Are you okay injecting? Then if you don't want the least amount of side effects, if you don't want any side effects, are you okay injecting frequently, right? Third, what else? Yeah, are you okay potentially aggravating side effects like acne, oily skin, hair growth in areas that you're not okay with, perhaps hair fall, right? Now for around hair fall, like my hair fall is more or less the same, but I'm still waiting for the testosterone levels to peak up inside my bloodstream, which probably happens after something like 3 to 4 weeks. But you might need some mitigating strategies around that. You might want to add in some finasteride, oral finasteride. Now that might fuck with your hormones, that might not fuck with your hormones basically. Well, I tolerate finasteride pretty well, right? Even when I was in another country, like abusing the shit out of my body like a couple of years ago. But yeah, these are the factors that you want to consider, and you got to look at things in and out before you hop on the shit, right? And understand the ins, understand the pros, understand the cons, and then do it. Don't do it because you're watching my podcast and you like me, right? Well, I might be a likable person, I might not be a likable person, but I genuinely don't give a shit basically, right? I'm gonna be myself on my camera. So yeah, like that's my point, right? Look at the ins and the outs. Don't chat GPT it. Please don't chat GPT. That's shit, right? Get a proper coach. Read research papers. Don't get your information from fucking WhatsApp. Don't get your fucking information from fucking YouTube. From your favorite influencer like me. Hire a proper coach who knows the stuff, right? Who's done this, who's coached people around it, has got a successful track record of results, and you get what you pay for when it comes to a coach. If you hire a cheap coach who's going to be a rent-a-friend, who doesn't really keep a log of your data, etc., like, don't fucking do that, right? But these are the factors that you want to consider basically, and you got to be accountable to yourself, like. And then, if you think it's for you, after you've nailed all the basics, you majored in the majors, trained naturally for at least 10 years, then, yeah, and if you decide it's for you, yeah, please be my guest. But these are the factors that you consider. Anyways, people, if you found this useful, feel free to follow me for more tips, tricks, learning cool stuff, right? I didn't script this podcast or this video, like, this is just me being me. Oops, my phone went off. But this is basically me, right? Now, as always, if you want to transform your body by building healthy habits, by staying on top of the latest research around health and fitness, by optimizing your hormones, by optimizing your health, with proper training, with proper nutritional advice, with proper supplementation advice, with proper guidance and accountability, then all you need to do is fill in the application form below. And if you found this useful, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, drop a comment in the algorithm below. It just helps me get to more people out there and spread the right message. And as a byproduct, I might spread some more legs. Right, jokes. This is just me being a fucking cocky guy on TRT. Right, well, eventually that's gonna die down, but I know what's happening, so yeah.